No, friend's dog.
Dog sitting?
We're just hanging, just vibing.
What's the dog's name?
Bucky.
What kind of dog is it?
Versatility.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, isn't he a cutie?
Right?
Hopefully your friends still good for adoption.
Nah. They're good. They're good.
What is what was I guess like practice like today? You guys obviously still have some time before you know who you play, and then you just try to shake the get moving a little bit.
Yeah, get the blood flowing. We talk about it. Every day is we focus on ourselves. So obviously we don't know who we're gonna play, but if we continue to just focus on ourselves and take care of the things that we can take care of, we'll be in a good position. So that's all today was. And, the next couple of days until we figure out who we play.
In all seriousness, how does the dog get in the practice field? Why is there a dog in the practice field?
We're a dog-friendly establishment. You know what I mean? So it's good vibes around here. So whatever makes good vibes, we're good.
Is there any part of you that wishes you guys were playing sooner rather than later? Is it break needed across first rest? Care about that again?
Yeah. What the first series we had a 4 days break, I think it was. Yeah, that was good enough. Yeah. This right now, I think at least a week, if not 9 days. It's a long time. So obviously it's good for recovery, but mentally, I'm watching the games. I'm just like, man, I'm just waiting to get back out there. So, it's a little long.
How are you doing with God speaks so long? Is it your wrist, your hand, your thumb, what hands, or whatever you got hit on there?
Yeah, that would be something.
Which was it?
Yeah, wrist. You want to go? Okay, you can go to Mallory. Oh, there you go. It's cool. It was something I'll probably address something in the summer, but for now it's intact. And you struggling? Good Lord. I gave the dog to the wrong person. Oh my gosh.
He's doing this with a child.
It is terrible. Yeah, exactly. Sheesh. Taking care of a dog's definitely worse than a kid. It's way harder than taking care of a kid. But yeah, the thumb's good, man. It's intact right now.
When you guys hit, you guys had some bad injury luck a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You got hurt. 4 guys got hurt in one series. Do you ever let yourself think like maybe luck is on our side this time and this wasn't as bad as you initially felt?
Nah, I mean, I don't really believe in the luck. For me personally, I pray before every game. In terms of protection for myself and my team, and I just go out there and hoop. When I had the hand, I obviously walked back and got extras of that. But I'm sitting there praying about it. That's my first go-to. I'm just sitting there praying that I'm healed, praying that I'm good, and I was blessed with it not being a fracture, and for what it is, I can play with, and I was happy with that. So I never try to see something and think of the worst. It's just a blessing.
Regardless of the opponent, compared to a year ago, how much better are you guys in position for the conference finals? Just with the chemistry you guys have built over the couple of years, with the health that you've been able to progress, how much better position are you in?
I don't know. I mean, we played at that point, 12 games? I think this year we were at 10 with a week break. I don't know. I don't look at it that way because I look at it like, man, we were in such a great rhythm, we are in such a great rhythm. We'll love to play, now. But, the rest is good, but it was different. Last year also we had home court. Didn't help. But we had that, so it's different in a couple of different ways. But I think we're locked in and focused on the task at hand.
It's very rare for a team to completely change what it does offensively.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of a playoff series,
Mm-hmm.
having yield the results that's come in the past 6 games or so. What has worked for you guys? Like, why was it so easy for
I think it's the character that we have around the organization. And obviously, that starts with, Dolan, Leon, Mike, and trickles down to obviously JB, Cat, those guys. So when you have guys that are willing to sacrifice, JB was, after that, game 2 or 3, whatever it was, we try to get him off the ball more, get Cat, involved a little bit more in terms of playmaking and being a hub. That allowed Mikal to have an added opportunity. Obviously, OG been playing very well, so it just kind of allowed for everyone to, kind of be themselves. And when you do that, and then you win, and especially lately the way we've been winning in the margins, everyone's been successful, and it's easier to change when you see that success, and you see the willingness to sacrifice and the fruits that it bears. So I think that's why it's just the character and the way we've been able to handle it.
It seems like every move the organization makes, they always say the reasoning is versatility. And stuff. Do you kind of feel that when we sit here waiting to see who you're going to face, that you guys have different ways of attacking, no matter who you play?
Yeah, 100%. I think in terms of offensively, we can play fast, we can play slow, we can play through JB, we can play through Kel, we can play through Cat. It's OG has been amazing. So you've been able to do that, and then defensively, you've been able, we've been able to, put guys on really anybody. We had obviously Cat, Mitch, Ariel. We were ready for OG to guard, Embiid, stuff like that. So when you have those kind of guys able to do that, and then you're able to throw multiple guys at a Maxey and PG, it just allows your team to kind of play the game how that particular game, is needed to be played. And then, the other team makes adjustments, and you're able to adjust to that. So it's good.
Josh, go ahead.
Josh, because you guys have all this time off, you're not focusing day-to-day on the games. Do you have a fight against them in mind in terms of not really looking too far ahead and seeing what the opportunity exactly is ahead of you? You have to kind of keep your mind off that a little bit for the whole time?
Yeah, that's always a challenge, especially at the end of this year, because obviously people forget that we're actual people and we have, plans, summer's plans, stuff like that, and vacations, and I'm trying to I'm kind of pushing all that on my wife, so I'm not mentally, anywhere else but right here. But yeah, sometimes it's tough when you have this long of a break because you're an actual person. You're not just a guy that goes out there, plays basketball, sleeps, and goes back out there for a game. So it's tough at times, but I think the guys that we talk consistently, whether it's here or in our group chat or, our own separate conversations that helps, tie in and bring everybody, in when, mind wanders, and we're able to hold each other accountable, in that regard. So it's tough at times, but, I think we're all just extremely focused on the task at hand. Derek, what are you doing? What are we doing?
Depends what the question is. Josh, the beginning of
It better not be a dumb question, because if it's a dumb question, I'm walking out.
you guys have had it's kind of been this narrative of finals or bust from the beginning of the season. Your owner in January said it. He expected to go to the finals, and now that you're all the way back and one round away, how do you feel like you guys have handled that pressure? And now that you kind of established yourself with these 7 wins in a row, you're expected to get to the finals. Does that pressure amp up at all?
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't a terrible question. I don't think we ever. I don't think we look at it as like a pressure situation. Obviously, we're in New York, and everything that we do is amplified. Whether it's winning 3 games in a row, people crown us champions, or if we lose 3 games in a row, people crown us of like the team that's tanking. You know what I mean? So we don't. Our job right now is to stay even, to focus on that task at hand. And like I said, when if or when guys' minds wander, we have a good enough team, a good enough camaraderie to hold each other accountable and bring everyone back into the fold. So it's not really pressure in terms of that. And with the character of the guys that we have in the locker room, you would never see anyone that's more judgmental, or criticizes themselves more than ourselves individually. And when you're your hardest critic, your toughest critic, there's no other pressure, because at the end of the day, I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and wonder what I could do better, and no one that's not in my shoes can tell me, what I could have done better or anything like that.